Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Kajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Hirambaha Skandapurvajaha Shukla Bharadaram Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyadvarada Vaktradhya Parishadhya Parastatam Vignam Nignanti Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Harihi Om. With Bhagavan's grace, let us continue where we left off. We came up to 1.6.20. Didrukshuhu tat aham bhujah pranidhaya mano hrudi vikshmanaha api na apasyan avitruptaha iva. I wanted to see that form of that selfless love and experience that. So I tried again, I concentrated, I established my mind in my heart. And I was waiting to get that experience again. But na apasyan, that did not happen. So I was dissatisfied and I became anguished and aggrieved. 21. Evam yatantam vijane mam aha agocharaha giram gambhira slakshnaya vacha suchaha Pasamayan iva evam yatantam vijane mam ah agocharaha giram gambhira slakshnaya vacha suchaha prasamayan iva. This way, evam yatantam, I was striving, I was persevering, I did not give up. Vijane, in that lonely place without any human beings, when I was striving like that, persevering like that, all of a sudden, what happened? Agocharaha giram mam aha. Agocharaha giram mam aha. Agocharaha. We all hear sound, and we all know that beyond the realm of sound that we hear, there is something out there that we cannot hear. From there, from that part, something beyond the realm of sound, giram, a speech, mom to me, aha, said, something spoke to me. And that giram, that speech, how was it? Gambhira, slakshnaya, gambhira, it was very powerful. And slakshnaya, lakshanam, that is very pleasing it was. Not only was it powerful, it was also pleasing, vacha, with those words. And suchaha prasamayan iva. Suchaha, my misery, my grief that I had, that I was not able to see it. Again, that prasamayan, it removed it, so to speak. So when I was striving and persevering like this, all of a sudden I heard a very powerful and pleasing voice that appeared from beyond the realm of normal sound, and it spoke to me, removing my misery and grief. 22. Hanta asmin janmani bhavan na mam drishtum iha arhati avipakva kashayanam durdasaha aham kuyoginam. Hanta asmin janmani bhavan namam drishtum iha arhati avipakva kashayanam durdasaha aham kuyoginam. Oh Hanta, oh, hey, Narada, it said, hey, asmin janmani bhavan, this birth you namam drishtum iha arhati, here, asmin janmani, in this birth, Bhavan, you, na mam drashtum arhati. Mam, to me, na drashtum arhati. To see me, you don't deserve it. You are not fit to get my vision. Avipakva, you're not fully ripened yet. My dear Narada, you're not fully there yet. Kashayanam is not fully removed of all the material dirt, the worldly dirt. No, you have not. And Kuyoginam, you are not completed. You are incomplete in your service. What does it mean? You had the desire to see me only in the forest, as I was sharing with you a couple of days ago. No, I am there everywhere. You have been taught this Atma Vidya, but you forgot and you came here searching for me in this forest. So the little bit of dirt is still remaining. That has to be gotten rid of. The incomplete service means to serve the Atma, the indweller within you. You got to embrace him even more. Avipakva, because of that you are not fully ripe yet. Therefore, Mam na drashtum harhasi, you have not become fit to get my vision again. Hanta asmin jalmani bhavan na mam drashtum iha arhati, avipakva kashayanam durdasaha aham kuyoginam. 23. Sakrutyat darsitam rupam etat kamayate anagha, mat kamaha sanakaihi sadhuhu sarvan munchati hrut sayan. Sakrut yat darsitam rupam etat kamayate anagha, mat kamaha sanakaihi sadhuhu sarvan munchati hrut sayan. O anagha, O sinless one. He addressed him again. Yat darsitam. Whichever way, what type of way it has been now shown to you. I've given you a taste of myself. I've given you, remember he showed the prema show manifested within him, so he could embrace it. I've given you the taste. Yatu darsitam, in which way that you have experienced me. Te kamaya, your kamaya desire, sanakaihi will keep on increasing. That means, now that you have tasted myself, the darshan I gave you, your desire for it will become more and more. Sadhuhu, the devotee, sarvan munchati, he gives up everything. And what does he give up? Sarvan hrita sayan. Hrita, what is really residing in our heart, hrita, in her sayan, what is sleeping there, what is residing there? All the worldly desires. Even though Bhagavan also resides there in Sayanam, we forget, we have all the worldly desires. All of them, sarvan munchati, they all will be given up. Because you have now tasted, I've given you a taste of my darshan, my experience. So your desire for that will go on increasing, thereby you will give up all the worldly desires that are still left in you, any residual worldly desires in you. Sakrut yat darsitam rupam etat kamayate anagha, mat kamaha sanakaihi sadhuhu sarvan munchati hrut sayan. Sakrut, that is a good deed that will happen by the taste of my experience, my darshan. 24. Sat sevaya adhirghaya te jata mai dhrita matihi hitva avadhyam imam lokam ganta mat janatam asi. Sat sevaya adhirghaya te jata mai dhrita matihi hitva avadhyam imam lokam ganta mat janatam asi. Now what do? I've given you a taste of myself, my experience, and that itself will increase your desire for more and more. Therefore, you automatically will give up the worldly desires. So, in that process, Sat Sevaya, serving the truth, serving the prema, serving the dharma, everything is one and the same, ahimsa. So, Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, one and the same. Sathya, Sat Sevaya, serving the truth, being unshakably holding on to it. Adhigaya, in a very short time. Te, you, Jata, having attained. What will you attain in a very short time? Serving the truth and following this, persevering. Mai dhrita matihi. Your mind, dhrita, firmly established in Mayi, in me, unshakably, you will achieve that. Hitva avadhyam imam lokam. Avadhyam imam lokam. Avadhyam, something inferior, temporary, not permanent, full of misery. It is low, it is deplorable. All as one anecdote is, of Bhagavan sends Narada to, in another, quickly tell you, this Avadhyam Lokam, he sends Narada to go to talk to Indra, who's now being taken birth as a pig and moving around in a gutter, and in a filthy gutter, along with his family. And Narada goes to him and tells him, hey, listen, do you know who you are? You are Indra. You are the ruler of all the devas. What are you doing here in this gutter? And that pig replies, Indra, I may be Indra, I don't know, but I really am enjoying my time with my family and splashing around in this filthy gutter here. I don't want to go anywhere else. That lokam is what we are all in. We are all those Indras only, spluttering around in this world which is avadhyam, which is inferior, which is deplorable. Imam, this lokam, hitva, giving it up. Ganta, you go to majjanatam asi, you will. By persevering satsevaya, automatically your mind will become firmly established in me, and as a result of that you will automatically, instantly give up the attachment to this deplorable world, Ganta, and then you will be arriving at Mat Janatam Asi. Mat Janatam. This is beautiful. Imagine being in the company of Bhagavan and the bhaktas and the devotees who are there with him. You will be in that company. Mat Janatam Ganta. You will achieve that. You will arrive there. Satsevaya adhirghaya te jata mayi dhrita matihi. Hitva avadhyam imam lokam ganta mat janatam asi. 25. Matihi mayi nibaddha iyamna vipadhyeta karhichite praja sarga nirodhe api smrutihi cha mat anugrahate. Matihi mayi nibaddha iyam na vipadhyate karhichite praja sarga nirodhe api smrutihi cha mat anugrahate. Mat anugrahate. With my grace you will also achieve something more. What is it? Matihi mayi. Your buddhi will be devoted to me, established in me. Not matihi mayi nibaddha. It will be firmly attached and engaged in me only. Iyam, here. Na vipadhyate. It will be so firmly established, your mind and buddhi will be completely established and engaged in me. They cannot be distracted. Vipadhyate means to get distracted. Na vipadhyate, cannot be distracted. Karhichite, at any point in time, at any place, they cannot be distracted. That's what the Asariri is telling Narada. Then what happens? Matanugrahate, what will happen? Praja sarga nirodhe api smrutihi cha. Praja, the creation that takes place, all the various beings, sarga, they get created in the process of creation. Nirodhe, in the process of dissolution. Api, and so when we are born, we don't remember what happened before we were born. Right? That memory is not given to us. But here Bhagavan says, all the living beings, when they get their birth, that means during the creation, the part of Yuga, and Nirodhe, in the part of dissolution, whatever takes place, Smrutihi, your remembrance, I will grant you, Mat Anugraha. You will always remember. Your mind and buddhi will be established only in me. You will never get distracted, completely engaged in me. Not only that, you will not forget that even when the creation and the dissolution cease to be. Matihi mayi nibaddha iyam na vipadhyate karhichite prajasarga nirodhe api sprutihi cha mat anugrahate. 26. Etavat uktva upararama tat mahadbhutam nabaha lingam alingam iswaram aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyate sishna avanam vidadhe anukampitaha. Etavat uktva upararama tat mahadbhutam nabaha lingam alingam iswaram aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyate sishna avanamam vidadhe anukampitaha. Etavat, thus. Uktva, spoken. Now this is what the Asariri has spoken. Upararama. After speaking this, Upararama, that voice stopped. All of a sudden it stopped. Nabaha lingam, tat mahadbhutam, that being, that great being, Nabaha lingam, the form of sound. Alingam, actually it was formless, and that Upararama stopped speaking. Aham cha, and I, tasmai mahatam mahiyase, that great, we say, tat savitur varenyam, we say in Gayatri Mantram, it is impossible to describe the greatness of it. That mahatam, that mahato mahiyan is what Upanishad says. If the greatest among all the great, greater than the great, that mahatam mahiyase, into that aspect of this formless entity that gives the sense of greatness. Unto that greatness of that being, Srishnam, with my head, Avanamam, I bowed in prayer and worship, obeisance, in absolute obedience. I put my head and prayed and worshipped it to that sound that came from that Mahatam, that great being that had stopped speaking, into that greatness of what a phenomenal. Why? Vidhate, what happened? See, Avanamam Vidadhe, that you have to take it together. Avanamam Vidadhe means, Avanamam means obeisance, prayer, worship. Vidate, to do. So I prayed, I worshipped, I gave my respect to, bowed my head. Srishna, bowed my head. Anukampitaha, of the infinite divine mercy, the divine love. That is what gave me this blessing. So I bowed my head to that divine love and the divine compassion and the mercy that it had blessed on me. Etavat uktva upararama tat mahadbhutam nabaha lingam alingam iswaram aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyase sishna avanamam vidadhe anukampitaha. 27. Namani anantasya hatatrapaha patan gukhyani bhadrani kritani cha smaran gam paryatam tushtamanaha gatasprikaha kalam pratikshan vimado vimatsaraha. Beautiful. He says, now what did I do after this? This Bhagavan blessed me like this. He gave me a taste of himself, then told me I cannot see him. Even then I started persevering and trying. And he says, this is what I have got to do. And so what did I do? Namani anantasya hatatrapaha patan gukhyani bhadrani krutani cha smaran gam paryatam tushtamanaha gataspragaha kalam pratikshanne vimado vimatsaraha. Anantasya namani, infinite names. Hata trapaha. Now I was freed, absolutely free, devoid of all the attachments to the worldly things, the material things, all the things. Trapaha, trapaha, the three types of miseries we get. Hataha, after killing it, which basically no desires. Anantasya namani, the infinite names of Bhagavan, patanne, I started reciting them. Gukhyani bhadrani, and these Gukhyani bhadrani, they are, Gukhyani means they are they remain unknown to people because they have not taken the trouble to know them. But they are easily accessible. Since you know them, they are guhyam. So guhyani, bhadrani, they are most benedictory, they are most holy, sacred names these are. And not only did I start reciting Anantasya Namani, I also started reciting Anantasya Krutani, this Bhagavan's infinite activities. Not only did I recite Bhagavan's names and the various activities that remain unknown, but they are so holy and benedictory, I also Smaran, Anantasya Namani, Anantasya Krutani, Smaran, Bhagavan's stories and glories, names and activities and the leelas that he played, Smaran. I constantly remembered and recollected them. Gam, on this earth. Paryatam, I was traveling through this earth. Gam also means universe. Going through Paryatam, I'm traveling through. But how? Tushtamanaha, fully contented. I had no desire left. And zero desires, imagine what the status will be. It is bliss and peace. That is Tushtam. And it's absolute contentment. And not only that, Gatas Prihaha, completely free from all material desires. Gatas Prihaha. Sprihaha means to touch. Gata means to go. Go away from touching. To put it literal translation, it means without any material desires of this world. Then I started reciting, constantly remembering Bhagavan's stories and glories, names and activities as I was traveling through Pratikshane, because on this earth I was traveling after receiving this instruction from Bhagavan. Pratikshane, all along, all the time, waiting. Pratikshane means to wait. And how did I wait? Vimadoho, without pride. Madam means pride. Vi means without. Vimadoho, without pride. And Vimatsaraha. Matsaraha means jealousy. Vimatsaraha means without jealousy. So, no Anasuya, as Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, very important first quality of a devotee is Anasuya, without any jealousy. And Vimadaha, Vimatsaraha, without pride and without jealousy, I was free from all material desires. Anantasya Namani, Anantyata Krutani, all the names, infinite names and infinite glories and activities of Bhagavan, Smaran, and I was Patanna and Smaranne, reciting and constantly remembering them, waiting, Pratikshan. 1.6.28 Evam Krishnamatehe Brahman na saktasya amala atmanah kalah pradhurabhut kale tadit saudamani yatha. Evam Krishnamatehe Brahman na saktasya amala atmanah kalah pradhurabhut kale tadit Saudamani yatha. The new words for you are pradhurabhut and tadit. Okay. Evam, this way, Krishnamatehe, with the mind fully engaged, focused, absorbed only in Krishna. O Brahman, Narada is now addressing Vyasamuni. O Brahman is addressing, this way, my mind fully engaged in Krishna, fully focused and fully immersed in Him, na saktasya, and I was living without attachment to the world. Amala atmanaha, a pure self. My mind has become pure, amalam, without any dirt. At that time, kalaha, death. Pradhurabhute, beautiful word. I was waiting. Remember, he was saying I was waiting. Pradhurabhute. Pradhurabhut means to become visible. What a beautiful Sanskrit word. Okay. It says I was waiting and then all of a sudden death became visible. For us, right now, death is invisible. We know it's going to come, but right now it's not visible. We don't know where it is, how far it is, in time or space, but it is not visible to us. All of a sudden, it became visible. Pradurabhute. How did it appear? Pradurabhute kale. See, kalaha, first kalaha means death. Pradurabhute kale. The kale means, in this case, in due course of time. Pradurabhute became visible. What the example he gives is, Tadit Saudamani Yatha. Yatha, in which way? Tadit, lightning. Saudamani illuminates. How does the lightning illuminate the sky? Suddenly, right? Like that, death became visible. Evam Krishnamatehe Brahman na saktasya amala atmanah kalaha pradhurabhut kale tadit saudamani yatha. 29. Prayujyamane mayi tam suddham bhagavatim tanum arabdha karma nirvanah nyapatat pancha bhautikaha. Prayujyamane mayi tam suddham bhagavatim tanum arabdha karma nirvanah nyapatat pancha bhautikaha. Now, once a death came, what happened? Prayujyamane, I was being awarded, rewarded. What was I blessed? What was I blessed with? Mayi, on me, the blessing was Tam, that Suddham, the pure, Bhagavatim Tanum. What a beautiful word. What is Bhagavatim Tanum? That is the form. Tanum means body. Body of what? Body of a Bhagavata. And who is a Bhagavata? Bhagavata is the one who is always loving God exclusively in his mind and heart and buddhi. That Bhagavati Tanum, I got the form, the body of a Bhagavata. And what does this mean? With that, the moment that was blessed on me, Prayujyamane, I was rewarded, blessed with that, then what happened? Arabdha karma nirvanaha. Nirvanaha means to extinguish, to eliminate completely. What was eliminated? Arabdha karma. Not just regular karma. Karma means action, activity. But each one of our actions that we do is tied with the previous action. If you really look at it, it's a continuous chain. You cannot break it. You cannot escape it. We call it result, whatever name we use it. It's the same action that is continuing. But it began at some point. That is Arabdha Karma. When you eliminate, destroy the root of it, when you eliminate and remove the very first action that has sprouted in this huge tree of all the various activities we do, what happens to all the tree? It gets extinguished. Arabdha Karma Nirvani, the very first act itself, which was desire, right? Desire to acquire something. That is how all our actions began. So that was eliminated. And Pancha Bhautikaha, the body that is made of the 5 elements, Napatat, I quit. I left it permanently. Prayujyamane mayitam suddham bhagavatim tanum arabdha karma nirvanaha nyapatat pancha bhautikaha. Slokam number 30. Kalpanta idam adaya sayane ambasi udan vataha Sisayishoho anupranam bivise antaraham vibhoho. Kalpanta idam adaya sayane ambasi udan vataha Sisayishoho anupranam bivise antaraham vibhoho. Kalpa anta, in the end of the kalpa, in Brahma's day. The kalpa means basically the day, during the time period during which creation takes place. The day of Brahma is called kalpa, one creation period. At the end of that, what happens at the end of creation? All this was taking place, and then whatever has been created, what happened? Idam here, adaya, idam here, kalpanta, idam adaya. Idam adaya means taking all this together, all that has been created together. Ambasi utanvataha sisa yishoho sayane. Let us take it like that. Ambasi udanvataha. Ambasi. Amba means also water. Udanvataha means in the ocean. So on the waters of the ocean, sisa yishoho, desiring to sleep, so to speak, a sleepiness, sayane, lying down. What is called as Ananta Sayanam, basically Kshirasagaram. Bhagavan is lying down on the wavy waters of the ocean. Ambasi udanvataha sisa yishoho sayane, lying down. Anupranam, that entity, that Bhagavan whom we call as even Narayana, Mahavishnu, whatever name we give, that Bhagavan whom we are picturing as lying down, not in full sleep, but at the same time desiring to sleep, right? We call it Yoga Nidra is the name, another name we give. And where is he lying down? On the wavy waters, Ambasi, of Udanvataha, of the ocean. That Bhagavan Anupranam, in his Anupranam, it is breath, the breathing of that, Bibishe, everything that has been created entered through the breath into that Bhagavan, that entity. Antaha aham vibhoho. Aham, I. Antaha, also, vibhoho, that Mahaprabhu, that vibhoho, Prabhu, Vibhu, we've seen that before, that Bhagavan. Aham antaha, I also went in with all this together and drawn into the breath of that vibhoho, lying down on the wavy waters of the ocean. Okay? 31. Sahasra yuga paryanta uttaya idam sisrukshataha marichi misraha rishayaha pranebhyaha aham cha jagnire. This is what happened to me. I was in a body, the death came, then I was without body, Bhagavata Swarupam, I was rewarded. Then when all the creation was dissolved, everything entered through the intaking breath of that Bhagavan, that Vibhoho, lying down on the wavy waters of the ocean. I also went in. Then, Sahasra Yuga Paryanta. Paryanta, at the end of Sahasra Yuga, 1,000 yugas. This is the one we call as one Mahayugam. Okay? 1,000 Mahayugams. This is in our calculation, 4.32 billion human years. Okay, at the end of that, Uttaya. The Uttaya means this Sahasra Yugam, this time period ended. Uttaya, it expired. Idam here. Sisrikshataha. Then the desire to create happened again. Desire to create again happened. Then what happened? How was the thing created? Marichi Misraha Rishayaha. Marichi, rishis like Marichi and all that. Pranebhyaha. Right from that breath that took everything in, the same breath, pranam means breathing out. Okay, anuprana means breathing in. So pranebhyaha, the breathing out of that, Marichi and all other rishis came. Aham cha jagnire. I also appeared. Sahasra yuga paryanta uttaya idam sisrukshataha marichi misraha rishayaha pranebhyaha aham cha jagnire. 32. Antaha bhahicha antarbhahischa is what would be written in your book. Antaha bhagihi cha lokan trin paryemi askandita vrataha anugrahat mahavishnoho avidhyata gatihi kvachit. Antarbhahischa lokan trin paryemi askandita vrataha anugrahat mahavishnoho avidhyata gatihi kvachit. Now that Mahavishnoho anugrahat, with that grace and anugraham of Bhagavan Mahavishnu, what happened? Paryemi, I traveled. Padyemi. Where did I travel? Treen lokan. All the three worlds that we have. Antaha Bhagihi cha, both inside as well as outside. That is why Bhagavan, that's why Narada is able not only in the external world, but it's also in the internal world. Not only while we are awake, but also while we are dreaming. And not only while we are dreaming, even when we are in deep sleep, for example. He is also present in the past, the present, and the future. So, all the three lokan, Antaha Bhagihi cha, Askandita Vrataha. Askandita, that Askandita, with Bhagavan's Mahavishnu Anugrahan, the Vrataha, the discipline, this blessing came to me, Vrataha. That Vratam was Askandita. It was unbroken, continuous, not even one Kshanam it got break. It was continuous, unbroken, and not only that, Avidhyata, it was also unrestricted. Narada could go anywhere at any time, at any place he wants, with absolutely no restriction, and it is also askandita, without any break. It was always continuous. And kvachite, at any time I can go with Mahavishnu's anugrahate. And this is the blessing that Bhagavan gave me. I could travel anywhere, any place, any time, no restriction, and I did this continuously without even a moment of rest. Antaha bhagicha lokan treen padyemi askandita vrataha anugrahat mahavishnoho avidhyata gatihi kvachit. We will do two more today. 33. Devadattam imam veenam swara brahma vibhushitam Murchayitva harikatam gayamanaha charami aham. So, I could go anywhere, unrestricted, continuously, everywhere, all the world. What did I do? Going to traveling all the world. That's what he is describing. Devadattam imam veenam swara brahma vibhushitam Murchayitva harikatam gayamanaha charami aham. Harikatam gayamanaha. Singing the glories, the stories of Hari. Devadattam imam veenam. Imam, this Devadattam given by the Devas. Veenam, the Veenai. Swara Brahma Vibhushitam. And it's the Brahma Vibhushitam Swara. This Veena is not ordinary Veena. It's Brahma. It's divine. It's endowed with divine music, divine sound. Okay. Divine Swara it had. Vibhushitam. It's endowed with that. It's ornamented, decorated. That's the literal meaning. But it is endowed with divine sound. This Veenai. Okay. And given to me by the Devas. Murchayitva. It was vibrating with this divine sound. He was not me. He was not playing that. The Veena itself was vibrating with the divine sound. Okay. Doing that. Harikatam Gayamanaha. Singing the glories of the story of Hari, Aham Charami, I am moving about. Murchayitva is very important. It's vibrating. What is it? It is self-vibrating. It's not sound created by anybody else. And what is this Vinay? This is the Sukshma Nadi that we have in our body, that goes parallel to our spinal cord. And the sound that is vibrating all the time in that nadi is pranava sound, omkaram. That is the divine sound. That is the Brahma Vibhushitam Swaram. This is what is taken. That is what Narada's Veena is. And that is the job Narada is doing. And this omkaram is present everywhere. Antaha, Bhagihi, internally, out, externally, in all the three worlds. And it is present continuously and it has no restriction. Right? And at any time, all the time, the whole universe, inside, outside, everything is filled with the vibration of this Brahma Vibhushitam, of this divine sound. Devadattam imam veenam swara Brahma Vibhushitam Murchayitva harikatam gayamanaha charami aham. That Omkaram is the one that gives rise to the Harikatai. That's what we're talking about. 1.6.34 Pragayataha Saviryani Tirthapadaha Priyasravaha Ahuta iva me Sigram Darstanam Yati Chetasi. See, When this song is sung, this Brahma Vibhushitam Swaram Muchayatva, when the vibrating, the divine sound is sung, okay, what happens? Pragayataha, this singing, Saviryani, of its own effulgence, Tirtha Padaha. This is the most sacred Tirtham, the sacredness of this lotus feet, Priyasravaha, so extremely lovingly. The moment you sing this glories and stories of Bhagavan, that is itself is happening all the time. What happened? The Tirthapadaha, that's the glory of the lotus feet, Priyasravaha, the abode of that selfless love, Ahuta. Okay? It summons, the singing itself, this reciting the glories and stories of Bhagavan itself calls for something else. It summons, it beckons something to happen. And what happens? Yati, Aguta, it summons, Hiva, like this, may, to me, Sigram, immediately, Darsanam, the vision, Yati Chetasi, Yati, it appears, Chetasi, in the heart, in the depth of my heart. When I sing the Bhagavan's glories and stories of its own effulgence, and I do that lovingly, then that singing itself brings about immediately, not without delay, Sigram, the darshanam, the vision of that selfless love that is seated in my heart, in the seat of my heart. Chetasi, that means you get the vision of Bhagavan by singing the glories and stories of Lord lovingly, very important. Priyasravaha, Pragayataha Svaviryani Tirthapadaha Priyasravaha Ahutaiva Me Sigram Darsanam Yati Chetasi. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Arihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Arihi Om.